Gentlemen, what is up? I am supposed to be taking delivery of my car today. My daily driver, my beater as I've called it, and I'm going to reveal what that is in just a moment. But I am not collecting the car today due to unfortunate circumstances. In fact, I'm not going to collect the car at all. I'm going to go and drop off this loaner that he gave me and get my plates and be off. Unfortunately, the car's a lemon. So what I did, put a deposit on. I wanted to do something a little bit different from the M3 cab. As I said, I was going to go with a daily driver. Something that I could just, stretch his legs, do its thing, and use it to go skiing in the wintertime and throw a bike on top for mountain biking, and just to throw some miles on, and I'd get a toy. That's still the plan. It just looks like this Lexus LS460 is not going to be my daily driver. Turns out these things have problems. The car would come to a sudden stop going around a corner. He said he was turning right, and it would just cough out and lose complete power and basically die in him. He changed the cats because he thought the cats were clogged. Then he said, I don't know if it's the fuel filter. He changed that. That didn't solve the problem. Put about 100 kilometers on the car, and it's still not working properly. In fact, he says it's working worse than what it did before. Now, I had no problems with the car when I test drove it. Loved it. Buttery smooth engine, transmission, beautiful, comfortable. Ah, shit.
Hi, Richard. This is Bill, BMW Toronto. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Excellent, thank you. Responding to your inquiry regarding our M5.
Oh yeah, okay. So I saw that on the certified pre-owned inventory. Is that one of the vehicles that comes with the extended warranty, the total of 6 years on it?
Let's put it this way. Let me take a look. No, they've got it as safety checked, which means you get balanced manufacturer's warranty. So this car is good until September 3rd, 2017.
And
so they haven't put a certified series on that.
Got it. So I'm just driving right now, so I don't have it in front of me. Was that the one with 59,000 kilometers?
That is 56,000 kilometers.
Right, and it's a 2014, is it?
Correct.
Would you guys be willing to sell it as a certified pre-owned car? I mean, I'm looking at it as it's fairly new, but it's got quite a few clicks on it, and it's an M5, right?
They would take it into the shop and see what it'll take to cost to certify.
Sure.
And they would then, yes, they would, obviously the price would be reflective.
Okay, well, I would consider doing a deal if you guys would be willing to sell it as a certified pre-owned car.
Absolutely, no question. We'll certainly can accommodate that. Let me just quickly go speak to management.
Sorry, I just took a call back from somebody that was responding to a message I left on another potential replacement. Anyway, back to the LS460. Yeah, loved it. Drove really nice, super comfortable. I'll be honest, ever since I saw the 2007 ads for the LS460 when it first came out, I loved the look of the car. It looked like a big, proper, stylish, luxurious land yacht, and I've kind of always wanted to own a big, comfortable land yacht for some reason. I enjoy driving it. I'm really disappointed that I'm not collecting the car today and that I'm dropping off this thing and probably going back to my brother's 4Runner as a loaner until I find what I'm looking for. Thankfully, I've got plenty of time to find the ideal vehicle, but I want to try to get it done in the next couple of months because I really hate being in between cars, and I find shopping for them exhausting. I mentioned in a video a few days ago when I was in Tobermory in front of that lighthouse that I really like the 335 diesel. Very powerful, very efficient, but a few of you put comments below in that video guessing all kinds of cars. Some really funny stuff, actually. You guys are, I said I was looking for a daily driver, and I saw things like F-Type Rs come up and Vet CO6 and all kinds of stuff. Guys, this is gonna be like a daily type of driver that I can throw miles on. I don't care about. I'm gonna park it wherever I want in the parking lot, not worry about people scratching it. It's just, I want to move to that sort of ride. I'm not sure what I'm going to settle on yet. I'm still looking around. Did like the 335 diesel, but I talked to the guys at Europa Motor, which is a shop that serviced my M3, and what he told me was if you're getting into a diesel, they're a little bit more expensive to maintain, parts cost more, And he goes, you tend to run into problems if you don't stretch its legs on a regular basis, meaning you take it for a nice long drive on a highway, because that's really where it gets into the most efficient mode. And with the kind of driving that I do that maybe once a week, and the rest of the time it's less than 5 kilometers a day, if that. So I've decided to stay away from a diesel, even though I do love the power and performance of it, but it's probably not a good fit for my driving style. Considering a 328 Wagon, I'm going to start listing off some of the cars that I'm looking at now. A 328 Wagon, again, I'm looking for something practical. I can throw my mountain bike in it or on it on a roof rack, get the skis in the back, you know, take my daughter and her friend, you know, her best friend's dad, skiing. We like to do that in the wintertime. And I found when I was doing that with the M3, it would work. Like, I could get the skis through the ski pass-through bag, and the trunk was really rammed, like it was really tight, and the kids were tight in the back. So I'm looking for a little more space now, I guess, as my daughter gets bigger and her equipment gets bigger and stuff like that. An M3 convertible probably won't be an ideal car for year-round driving. Not sure how that'll work out, but I'm looking for something with some room. So considering a 328 Wagon, which is a larger, more comfortable car, not really sure how to break down what I learned about the LS460. To put it in perspective, the discussion forums for these Lexus owners, totally different from BMW owners. I thought it was kind of a fascinating exercise, because the guy at the dealer, the wholesaler that was going to sell me the car, he goes, yeah, you should check the forums out, because I can't pinpoint the problem. So I started reading, you know, sudden loss of power turning right. Now, they've sold 72,000 of these cars. I looked at the production numbers, and there's only been a few people talking about loss of powers, but it's consistent, you know. One guy said he was merging on the highway with his family in the car and got onto the highway and had a total loss of power. An 18-wheeler was behind him and almost plowed into him. I mean, you get hit in a car like that with something that's a fully loaded 18-wheeler, you're probably cooked. So not something that really impressed me with the car. Another thing a lot of people complained about with the LS460 was wind noise. And I noticed it in an older one that I drove. It had 250,000 kilometers on it, and there was a ton of wind noise coming from the door. I don't know if it's the door, the mirror, or the door jambs, but the car itself has a fairly complex sealing system for its doors. I guess when they designed the car, they wanted to be as quiet and as efficient as possible, and they designed that in the car, but with age, it doesn't seem to hold up. And I found it very noisy. In fact, even more noisy than my M3 convertible was, with the top down and the wind deflector up. So that was a little bit concerning, but aside from that, the car seemed fairly bulletproof, aside from wind noise and sudden losses of power when you tend to turn. The forum geeks, you know, these guys that are on the forum discussing it, they say sensors, yaw sensors, the type of oil in some VVTi, you know, the variable valve timing system. If you have the wrong oil, you might have a sudden loss of power. And all of that's bullshit. Like, I've never had a problem. You know, when I put my foot down in the M3, the car would go. It would just respond. It would just say, right, let's go, and it would just take off. And the last thing I want to deal with is trying to merge into traffic and having losses of power. Even though it's a beautiful car and I loved it, I'm going to start looking for something else. I looked at the like Audi, Mercedes, BMW equivalents, and I'm not sure I would do that. I've considered the GS460, which is the model below the LS. Doesn't have as many of the techno gadgetry in it. You could also get it with the 4.7 V8, although it's slightly detuned, and the 8-speed automatic. So I'm going to have my eyes open for those. I don't know. Really frustrated. Really wish I could have done a video today showing you this beautiful car that I had bought. I still think it's a stunning car inside and out, but unfortunately it doesn't look like it is meant to be. So I'm going to let it go and pass on it. Anyway, that is my vlog series update on the Daily Driver. A little bit bummed out, and hopefully I have a more interesting story to tell you next time I do an update on the purchase. Maybe I'll have a purchase, I don't know. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Bummed out. Peace.